we're rolling.
All right. Well, here we are, back for another week. I've made it this time, so that's good.
We are whole again.
Yeah. I get spotty, especially around Christmas time. They get busy at the office that I work at.
Right.
So I ended up having to do a bunch of ITing last week, and got it all handled. So hopefully I'll be here for the next few sessions.
That's good.
I miss it when I'm not here.
There you go. Yeah, we miss you too.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I got caught up. I listened to the podcast, and it sounds like y'all did good without me. So
yeah,
everybody seemed to enjoy that one.
Yeah, we managed.
It was fun. It was a good time. I mean, you know how it is. You're here. You see the planning. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of built to.
It's like watching Larry Curly and Moe,
right?
build a barn.
Well, because we sit there and we're always like, okay, we don't want to just talk politics all the time.
Yeah.
And with all the news that's going on, sometimes it's hard not to.
Right.
But
that's true. Like, it's kind of topic. It's a topic driven show.
It is, yeah.
And I left the house today, and my because they're in deep with the whole impeachment hearings things,
right.
And my dad's got it turned on, at the house. So when I get up this morning, that's all I see.
Yeah.
So
I've watched a little bit of it, but I get tired of it so quick. And it's not that I'm mad or angry. It's just like, dude, I've heard all this before. I heard the soundbite, and this is all the sound. It's basically the soundbite 150 times over, and it's like, I'm just done.
Well, they're trying to establish a purpose for this to fit. Well, it doesn't fit.
Aren't they? And they're in the actual hearings.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to determine. They've got the articles of impeachment determined. They're setting up the rules now, is what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
And that's just boring as shit to me.
Yeah, and it's stupid because it's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right.
Just get on with it already.
Yeah.
Just give me the end game here, so we can get this going.
Well, we can always move on to the $125,000 banana.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of bananas, we've got we had a banana sell for $125,000 at an art festival. Did you catch that?
No. So what it was a banana. I kind of glimpsed at it, but it was basically just a banana.
It was a banana on a door.
Duct taped.
Duct taped to a door.
Now, the only reason I saw the article, but the funny spoof of the article was when I saw Viking Barbie spoof it on her little Instagram thing, which anything she does, you're watching that, huh? I got 100% attention to that. Holy fuck. Yeah.
She ate the banana?
Well, she checked, she did like a dipstick test.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and
it fit.
Yeah. She's
the spoof I saw on it. The thing's called The Comedian, which I don't get the joke. First of all, I don't get the joke. It's a $125,000 banana taped to a door, and it's like, what's the joke? I don't get it.
What do they call that kind of art? Because it's
impressionist. I don't know.
It only appeals to
terrible.
I guess you have to be in the art community to kind of get it, but I don't understand it, so it falls short.
I don't have pink hair and talk with a lisp, so I can't tell you.
And the thing that's weird is if you're wanting this, whatever kind of art this is, this culture, if you're trying to grow it in some way, but it kind of would be kind of counterintuitive to that whole crowd anyway, because they want to be.
Well, the numbnut. Here's my question: the numbnuts that paid $125,000 for this thing.
That's a lot of fuck you money.
That is. What are you gonna do when the banana goes bad? Because it's a real banana. It's not a fake banana. You'd think they would have used a plastic banana, which would have been kind of funny. Fake,
yes.
But no, the numbnut used a real banana. But yet further, the idiot that purchased it knows that it's a real banana. So I guess I can see it being called The Comedian, because who's the joke really on? The guy or the guy that made it?
Good point.
Or the guy that paid the $125,000?
Very good point, yeah.
So they're reporting that the banana has split. They actually had to take it down.
Okay.
Because the crowds were becoming uncontrollable.
Oh, yeah?
To see this thing. Yeah, I'm
the
like, really?
Uncontrollable about a banana.
Yeah, it was taken down. It was taken down by the request of the art organizers.
Well, these are the same people that show up and howl like banshees at Trump events. You know what I mean? Right. Outside. So that's the crowd you're dealing with.
Did they cite why they took it down?
Yeah, the crowds were becoming unruly. It's saying here that the convention center was full of art lovers, and apparently everybody was just losing control to go see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Show me the banana on the door. Show it to me now.
It was like Frankenstein crowds.
Exactly.
And he's saying that, whoever bought it, just remember that this banana is not made to last.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, okay, very cool.
But I bet you that $125,000 will.
You know, how do you put? You know, I don't know how you even explain it. How does it get $120,000 for a banana?
Well, you figure a guy that can spend that kind of money on something like this has probably got a butler that can go down and replace the banana every couple of weeks.
Hey, so did y'all ever watch
Jeeves, give me a banana.
Did y'all ever watch Mad TV?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I can't remember what the lady's name was, the character, but she would be this. She would make sense out of things that were like fucking stupid.
Okay.
So like a guy, I remember this. It was the first time I'd ever seen this character. So basically, it's a dude laying in a hospital, and he's on a oxygen machine. So she happens to just stumble in to the hospital room by accident, and she's like, "Oh, is he okay?" And it was like, "Well, he's dying of lung cancer." And they're like, "Oh, was he was he a smoker?"
Smoker,
yeah. And then so her immediate thing was he dumb? Could he not read? And it started down this whole thing of
She rabbit holed him for him,
oh
huh?
my god, it was the
That's funny.
funniest fucking thing
You
I'd
just
ever
described every intellectual though. Everybody that thinks they're smart, that's
Yeah.
the first route they go to.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you, what school did you go to? They're like a bunch of like magpies on
Yeah.
a high line.
Gibbering monkeys.
Yeah, and it's like, what school? Oh, he didn't go to school. Oh,
Yeah.
that poor guy.
Yeah.
Like he's an idiot because he didn't go to a school they went to.
Well, there's a character on this show that I watch every once in a while called Quick Draw.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude just likes to tell people, hey, I went to school at Yale and I learned like Yale-y things. So I want to, so he's a sheriff and he's trying to determine like the, how a crime happened. And so the witnesses will tell him, well, it happened this way. And he's like, what school did you go to? Because
Yeah.
I kind of went to Yale and I got this. And it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
somebody wants to find out what your pedigree is
Yeah.
before they'll talk to you.
Hey, see, and I'm just the opposite. When I find out you're from there, I don't want to talk to you because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. And all they do is trade sheepskin. All they do, So speaking of crazy stuff, let's talk about the love child of Yoda and Yaddle.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess I was the first kind of...
Yaddle.
Yeah,
What the hell is
Yaddle.
that?
Yaddle.
Yeah, baby Yoda is the love child of Yoda and Yaddle.
Yaddle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm lost on this.
I am too.
Well, apparently,
I know who Baby Yoda is.
Yeah,
but
okay. So apparently, you've got a new Disney series, The Mandalorian, and this Baby Yoda character showed up in it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So immediately it becomes the Facebook rage, right? Everybody's posting baby. And I don't know why it just struck me. I was sitting there Sunday and I'm like, oh my God, I can tell this is going to be like the lady and the cat. You know what I mean? I'm just going to see nothing but memes of Baby Yoda for the next 3 months. So I posted something on my board. I'm like, oh my God, I'm already sick of Baby Yoda. I want to force choke this thing and kill it in its infancy, Tired of already seeing it. So I kind of got dogpiled. Everybody's like, oh, but he's so cute. He's
Your
so
sister
cute.
jumped on you, didn't
She did.
Yeah,
Everybody
really?
jumped in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got dogpiled. I can't believe you're making fun of Baby Yoda.
You shot back at her pretty good, though.
I did. I never have any mercy on any of them.
It'd be like, and Yoda's like, Yaddle, a horse she is.
Yeah. So Disney went after people though for using that Baby Yoda.
I'm sure because they're notorious for doing
So,
that.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. So Jiffy, I guess it was like a few months ago.
Yep.
Because Baby Yoda's been out for a while.
A while. It's
So-
a couple weeks at least.
Yeah, Disney contacted like several big outlets that are known for putting like GIFs out about that whole, hey, that's copyright, for take that shit down.
Our legal team's coming.
Because I remember Jiffy was like on that list, and for the longest time you couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, we've covered this before. I mean, Disney has gone after people for putting making yard decorations
And
for
selling them,
Christmas.
yeah.
Really?
Not even that. We're just for putting them up. I mean, it's crazy. So, but yeah, the whole Baby Yoda thing. My point was, and what I was trying to drive at with this is Baby Yoda's soon going to be telling me to drink Diet Coke because Baby Yoda's drinking a Diet Coke. Baby Yoda's going to be selling me Geico insurance.
It's the new Geico lizard.
It is. It's coming.
Product placement.
What fabric softener to use? And I'm like, I fucking hate this thing already. Just die. I hope somebody kills it, but I know it doesn't because of the other movies. But I'm stuck with it. My point was, I would have liked to have seen teenage Yoda. That would have been so much better, because he'd have been like, you know what, man? F this whole Force thing, man. I'm just gonna hang back and look at porn.
Yeah.
Grow some zits.
When I saw your rant on it,
Yeah.
So I went and did my whole antagonistic thing and started collecting stuff. And what was funny is I found not a teenage Yoda, but I did find kind of a teenage angst Groot.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this kind of falls. It fits. So I'm gonna.
Because we did have to tolerate Groot and some stuff. It wasn't as bad, but we did have to tolerate Baby Groot and some stuff when it first came out. I was kind of sweating that, but they kept it to a minimum. I think he did some dancing for the CD player or something like that.
That was it. But so the whole Baby Yoda thing has got I'm reading this huge article about it. And there's an argument whether it's a fungus or whether it's a real biological being, and then there people are talking about it's the most powerful. It's more powerful than any of the other ones.
Okay,
and so it's something to be feared.
Nobody has lost the fact that it's a fictional character.
Exactly.
Right? It's fucking make
lost on everybody.
Okay. Yeah, and so people literally have just jumped way off in the rabbit hole on this thing. When actually it's just going to be, you're going to see nothing but Yoda dolls around the holiday. It's the new Gremlin.
Yep. A buddy of mine posted a picture of the Gremlins next to the Yoda, and he's like, "Oh, can you see it?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that just made it worse."
That's all it is.
That's icing on the cake.
That's too funny. Well, Disney, good luck with that. I'm not subscribing to your channel just to watch this series.
Yeah, I almost did because I'm a Star Wars geek, and I almost did, but I'm just not paying what they want for it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to feed the beast on this one.
It should come free with your new Tesla Cybertruck.
Exactly.
True. That's a good point. But
you buy a Tesla Cybertruck, you should get a free with Disney subscription.
Just with the sheer number of subscriptions I have now, I'm just not willing to throw another one on.
That's where I'm at, man. So, I've got Prime, and I've got Netflix, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not stepping out past this. It's going to get back towards $200 a month again to watch channels, and then they're all going to get into this fighting, this battle over who owns what production now. And then somebody like George Lucas or somebody like that will show up and say, "I've invented cable again," and just package it all for you.
There you go. Which would be smart. I wish somebody would sit there and say, "Look, we're going to sell you 100 channels for $100 a month. You pick the 100 channels you want, and just let the victors rejoice in that."
Yeah. But see, that they lose their control at that point. And you know that as well as I do. That's how all that crap gets on the air.
But you can still run commercials, though.
You could, but I'm saying, think about what cable companies do. They really force feed you what they want you to see.
But I don't watch it.
I don't either, but you pay for it. You see what I'm saying? If you pay for cable, I'm paying for Bill Maher. And I hate that part of it.
As a consumer, you should have some rights over that then, and some kind of control.
You should, but they don't want to give it to you for the very reason that I think I think this is Todd's opinion.
No, you're right. I agree.
I think they do it because they want Bill Maher to get a paycheck. They want people like that to get a paycheck.
Oh, well, the Pakistani LGBT channel won't get published anymore.
Exactly.
LGBT.
It's exactly it. But today we are not on fire.
But I think we are not being thrown out the building. I think though that if it's a legitimate market, that channel can survive too.
I agree. But you should be able to stand on its own.
Yeah, you should be able to stand on your own. That was just like the whole argument over PBS and public television and funding of public television.
Right.
And I like PBS, even though it's a bunch of liberal bullshit.
There's a lot of good shows.
There's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I love the documentaries.
Well, and just when you go to establish a business,
I look at it for the articles.
That so we have numerous restaurants around here where we live where the concept, the splash is great, but it doesn't sustain.
Right.
So my deal about starting up a TV show is if you don't do your due diligence to find out, hey, do I have an audience that will that I can sustain and keep them interested? Great. If it's one of those things, flash in the pan, the flash in the pan is the reason why to do it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, it's all the money guys though. Think about that. I mean, it's a big risk to explore a new avenue,
right,
and get people to fund it. So what they do is they copy another show, or they spin off of a popular character from another show because they feel it's safer.
Fucking
man, I see some payback in what can just say. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Tracy Ullman in The Simpsons.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
No, I see some payback with what you just said. I think the makers of Gremlins should come back and sue Disney at this point, just because Disney is such sue whores, and I can't stand them for that very reason. I would like for the makers of Gremlins, of course, they probably own the rights to that. I was getting ready
to say, I think they bought that shit up.
They probably own Gremlins as well, but it would be awesome if the original guy could come back and say, "You stole my concept and made him green. It's not fair."
At some point in time, though, the consumer has to say enough of this. I'm not watching this.
I mean,
that's what makes
what I've done.
That's what makes Amazon Prime work so well.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to see where the audience, the paying audience like us, when we get to a point where we're like, okay, I'm going to stop watching your shit only because it doesn't resonate with me anymore.
Yeah.
And so that message gets conveyed, and then suddenly they have to go back and retool because, okay, suddenly now that $10.50 that I'm expecting to roll in every month, now it exponentially times however many people is going to stop coming in. So therefore I need to change my content.
So if you look at how Netflix does it, if you watch a certain set of shows, they recommend other shows for you.
Yeah.
So I watched mine, and so my wife, one TV set up for what she watches, and I watch another one. And then we went to another friend's house the other day, and our playlists are so diverse that they actually load up based on their viewing habits, right? It's like an algorithm. So that's actually smart.
Yeah, it is.
Because what you're doing now, if you take that exponentially over an entire, just a city.
Gives you a good metric, doesn't it?
Gives you a very good metric. So they're marketing towards dudes like me with shows that I want to watch.
Right.
And then, because they're mostly the same thing you watch. I mean, you and I watch a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
And then I throw a lot of sci-fi in there as well. Like, I know we were talking about this new Lost in Space thing.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
And everybody, so when you're a child of the 70s, you're thinking of The Warning, Will Robinson,
the flailing robot.
Yeah, and Dr. Smith and Billy Mummy and all the characters that played in that. And you watch this new one, and they did a good job with it.
They really did. It's been a good series.
So I will say that after watching the series, so I remember the movie version that came out.
Yeah, with Heather Graham.
Yeah, so I had
and Matt LeBlanc or something.
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc.
I had that DVD, and it made me think, that was a poor choice to turn that into a movie.
Yeah,
because it was really more of a series driven.
That movie was not bad though. I saw it at the movie theater, and it was okay movie.
Yeah, I'm not a what's that William Hurt guy? I didn't like his character in there, and then the kid that played Billy
or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he went crazy, and that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. I didn't really care for that.
He's like old in the other.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was a little off. It didn't, but overall, if you stepped outside the series and just viewed it as a movie, I didn't think it was that bad. I think what a lot of us were expecting, the series to happen.
Like we talked about at lunch, was my impression of this new one was it's not like the white picket fence. It's like it's Beaver lost in space.
Like all the shows were back then. Yeah. You had the Brady Bunch, all of them.
I'm like, you know what? Life is sometimes kind of complicated and it's ugly.
Right.
And in this
Sam's looking for dirty whores lost in space.
There we go.
Which is a remake.
It is.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's on PornTube somewhere.
Yeah,
or something.
But I'm kind of digging how this one here is shaping up.
No, I watched it when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it, and I've been disappointed. That's the one thing that a gripe that I have about Netflix is they'll get you hooked to the first season,
right?
And it's 2 years before they make another one.
So so season 2 is like a long ways away from being.
Well, no, it's almost done. I watched the original series, the season 1, back in 2017.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm saying. I've been waiting for this. I watched it when it first came out, and I've been waiting for season 2 forever on this thing, man.
Okay.
The problem with what Netflix does is they release all the episodes at one time, just like they did.
Yeah. So because you binge watching has become such.
I think there's only like there's like 8 to 12 though, and it's like, come on, you could have made more of these quicker. I don't know.
Well,
with all the money you're getting, it seems like you could shovel these things out faster.
Well, it's just like the Jack Ryan series on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So have any of y'all watched that?
I have. I picked it up.
Season 1.
Yeah. Okay. So season 1 was actually fairly decent and pretty believable.
Yeah.
I personally, and I'm not going to divulge too much, but I think they mailed in season 2.
Yeah.
Because they attempted to use Venezuela. And when you look at the how are you going to say it, the special operations aspect of this show, they don't operate on a river in a big boat during the daylight. That's just they just don't run up and down the river.
Yeah.
In that part of the world. And there was a lot of what's his name, Buck Sexton came out on season 2,
okay, and
ripped it.
Really?
He ripped Jack Ryan season 2 massively.
He wasn't having anything to do with it.
Yeah, he was like, there's no way you're going to have your operators are not going to be out of shape, fat guys running around, and they're just not going to be that. They're not going to be that way. And they were also, he was talking about the special operations aspect of it. So what ends up happening with these, they pressured this thing to get out too fast, I think, because season 1 was so good.
Yeah.
And then, because Homeland, if you think about, when you look at shows like that,
yes, I'm a big Homeland.
Homeland was a home run from the beginning.
Yeah, they took their time with that too. It didn't go fast.
And then they had a season or two that wasn't so great, but then they redeemed themselves moving forward. But the pressure to run these series out, like I watched the Kaminsky Method.
Yeah, I like the Kaminsky
Method with Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin. It's phenomenal. So they rolled out season 1. They just rolled out season 2 is out now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, okay. Season 2 is out. All episodes are out, which is very good.
Right.
You have, I watched The Ranch, too, with Ashton Kutcher and Sam Elliott and all them. And, it was just one of those things to have.
Somebody was trying to get me. It wasn't one of you guys. Somebody was trying to get me to watch it. They said that is an awesome series.
It's pretty good.
You didn't like it?
It doesn't resonate with me.
It's not. Well, it's kind of because I've got that kind of farming ranch background, But
what was the one with Kevin Costner in it?
Oh, that one is Yellowstone.
That's it. That's
really good.
That was the other one. The same guy was trying to get me to watch.
But
Yellowstone
that's on Paramount Network, though.
Yeah,
and it's not anywhere where you have to subscribe to that.
Right.
And you can buy it off of Amazon, like $24 a season or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah. So
I will do stuff like that because I park a lot of stuff in my folder in my Amazon Prime.
I got you.
So going back to the whole cable and the series thing, there's a common theme here. They're remaking a lot of these old movies now.
Yeah.
But they're making them in episodic fashion.
Yeah.
So they're sticking.
Well, that way they get more money. They get more bang out of it.
Sure. They're trying to pull in people our age.
Yep.
Back into watching these things because we're the bill payers of the world.
Yep.
So
somebody's got to write the check.
Yeah, somebody's got to write the check, and you got to keep that group happy. And it's killing network TV.
Yeah.
I can't tell you of any network series I've watched in 5 years. You turn it on the locals,
and everybody's got like a sackcloth on with a rope belt.
Yeah. Well, Star Trek for me.
I love that. Yeah.
The new Star Trek is actually like really fucking good.
Yeah.
Because I have
the movies.
No, the series.
The series. Okay, I didn't know if you were talking movies or series. That's what I was driving at.
They have this new series on CBS because my buddy, my old friend Jeff, turned me on to it.
Yeah.
That freaking hooked me.
Yeah.
And they do a really, really
How far
good
along
job.
are they in that? How many seasons are we in on that? It's like the first season, isn't it?
It's
first or second.
I'm probably into the second season, but it's like a really, really long series. There's a lot of episodes
to
make up a
I need
season.
to watch this then.
But I had it on my CBS. I don't. There was some reason why I purchased a CBS subscription.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like $5 or $6. I have the one thing that drives me nuts about that particular subscription is I do get commercials on that.
Yes.
One. Granted, they're not very long.
Yeah. Is it one of those ones where they interrupt it for like 2 minutes to show you some product and then it goes back?
Not even 2 minutes.
That's cool. I can handle that.
But sometimes it's like, man, we just returned to the goddamn show.
Yeah.
What? And we're going to a commercial break again?
Yeah. That's so like Tubi does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Tubi. It's funny because Tubi, they have some really old. Talking about B-reel movies,
right?
Like we were talking about what's that? Forbidden Planet.
Yeah,
that's on. Those type of movies are on there, like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, see, I love all that stuff.
Refresh my memory. Which one was Forbidden Planet?
Forbidden Planet.
That's the one with Godzilla.
No, this is the one where what's his name? Aaron Moran from Happy Days was up there with Freddy Krueger, and then the big busty blonde chick gets like raped by this big worm. I didn't see that.
The Forbidden Planet I think of because they all had the same name.
Well, Sid Haig was in this one too.
Okay.
Sid Haig was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Forbidden Planet that I'm thinking of is the one where they take Godzilla out to Planet X.
Yeah, that was
another one. So
that's an older one.
Okay.
So this one had Eddie Albert Jr., Aaron Moran, the Freddy Krueger guys, Sid Haig, the lady from Alien, the older lady from Alien was in this one. And it looked like literally the special effects. It looks like they built a cardboard capsule.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, Forbidden Planet. I watched this. Now it was from the 80s. Now it's all coming to me.
And the guy had these crystals. And so crystals was his mojo, and that's how he killed people.
Yeah, the Sid Haig character threw like a big Chinese star at things, and it would chop stuff up. Yeah, I totally watched. I watched this not too long ago.
Yeah, so I know because you commented on it.
I did.
And so this big busty blonde chick named Damiana, I think is her name.
Yeah, she takes it from a worm.
Yeah, so she's out there. So this alien attacks your biggest fear, and apparently her fear was getting gangbanged.
When you said she takes it, I
literally
she takes it.
Yeah, she takes it. This worm literally disrobes her and kills her by screwing her to death.
Right. Yeah,
and it was
snoo.
Snoo. Yeah. So so you see $1.99 movies like that.
Oh, that's
TV.
awesome.
They have like the original Hell's Angels, and they have all these old movies on there that are fun. I mean, Sharky's Machine's on there, so so Tubi's pretty good. I haven't got into Hulu yet because didn't Disney snatch all that up?
You know what? I think they did.
I
now
think
that you're saying that,
because you go to it and it says it's unavailable for subscription now.
Right.
So
Hulu keeps me busy with. I mean, I go back and rewatch like Letterkenny stuff. So there's lots of stuff on Hulu.
Right.
That I watch.
Yeah, I just haven't jumped into it yet because I wanted to see Letterkenny, but I couldn't get into it.
To me, that is
because my TV wouldn't let me.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of poor TV, what about the guy that videoed the worst proposal ever in the history of man?
Yeah.
Man, you were telling us about this, and that just completely intrigued me.
I got this from I think it was like Walton and Johnson that had posted it. So it was essentially a guy that's like, hey man, I'm coming. I need to come up with like an original idea because I need to propose to my girl.
Yeah,
and
almost like a Chappelle skit.
Yeah, so it's like I know. Let's go to the liquor store. Let's do a pretend hold up, and you'll be in the back with your girl at the beer cooler.
Yeah,
and I'll be at the front
robbing the liquor store,
making a commotion, and we'll have the cashier in on it. And then what will happen is, I'll kind of wing it and I'll act like I'm going to leave, and then I don't, and then I make y'all all go to the back, and then I start giving y'all kind of a dress down as to, I can't leave because you've rattled my chi. And so I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on, and I start asking you questions about your life, and hey, you have any kids? And then you tell me you got 3, and you're with your baby mama, and then you're like, well, so then all of a sudden I become the mentor, and I'm like, Buck, man, you ain't even married. So all of a sudden I pull a ring out of my pocket, and then I hand it to her, and then you quit laying on the floor, then you kind of do a kneeling thing in front of her, and then you propose to her, and whammo, Bob's your uncle. And then you're like, what do you think of that?
Dude, that is exactly how this went down at a bar at 12:30 a.m. I promise you, that's how this went down.
Yeah,
I have no doubts.
It was like last call.
Yeah,
and they came up with this.
Okay, man, we're going to do this tomorrow. Holy
all of this is on video.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this going, this is about the fucking dumbest but funniest thing I have ever seen, where somebody thinks, man, this is a great idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a King of the Hill episode.
The chick said yes, though. That's what kills me. I can't believe under all this pressure. That tells you, I guess that shows you one good thing about her. You're marrying a chick that's good at making decisions under pressure.
Right.
Maybe. She's marrying you, so that kind of says something about her judgment there.
I said yes during a holdup.
Exactly. Well, it's funny because of all the incidents, all the things that could have gone wrong in this whole thing. You know what I mean? Other patrons in there.
What if Bobby hadn't shown up for the fake holdup?
Exactly.
All of a sudden,
he was too drunk.
What if a real robber came in, though?
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
What if a couple dudes with hoodies came in?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You got the ring?
Yeah, and
No, but I got a 45.
Yeah.
You ready for this one?
So you're holding up the holdup.
Yes.
You know?
That would be funny.
kind of funny, wouldn't
They'd
it?
have to take the money and the
ring.
So what was that movie? I'm going to get you, sucker, where they were all lining up to. No, it was what's the Airplane, when they were punching the slapping the lady that was losing her mind in the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were taking turns. That was movie Airplane. Yeah,
Airplane. They were walking, and everybody's just walking a condo
Smacking
line,
her.
smacking her.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of like that robbery, especially if it was in like St. Louis or something.
Either
Where
that-
was this at, by the way?
Gotta be Florida. Tell me it was Florida.
I want to say it was like Kentucky or
Oh,
Tennessee.
nah, I'm not surprised.
Missed it by that much.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
Kentucky. That's too funny.
Oh, man.
Hey, I just saw something you put up there where the Libertarian,
Yeah.
the $75,000 pistol takes
Yeah, with
takes
the
the wall.
banana. Yeah, they were gonna. That was gonna be my prelude into that. But yeah,
That's funny.
they somebody stuck a banana or a pistol on the door and taped it up there, and they're calling that the Libertarian.
I was
That's too
gonna
funny.
say, and the tailpipe?
Yeah.
The tailpipe?
Man, what a classic movie scene that was. They just don't make movies that good anymore.
No.
I mean, think about it. Beverly Hills Cop was a good movie. You know?
Really was.
Yeah. You know, it's
Speaking of scops and shooting,
Yes.
we've had some bad stuff go down here lately.
well,
with
good,
that,
because
man.
I was trying to figure out how to lead into that.
Yeah,
'cause we've been having
it's
a lot of
kind of
fun.
depressing. I mean,
Yeah.
this is going to be kind of the downer of the show right here.
Well, it is, because it's kind of becoming unacceptable bullshit.
Yeah.
Is what it is. I mean, you know.
Well, and the after response is what got me in this. So you had a robbery, a botched robbery in Florida.
Yeah.
That takes place where they drive off in their original getaway vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
They end up snatching a UPS truck.
Mm-hmm.
UPS truck gets caught up in traffic. The cops catch up with them. The cops just tee off on this thing, which
Well,
I
they were
find
holding the driver hostage, and here's what's the sad thing about the whole story is the way they were reporting this was saying brand new first day on the job employee. Well, not true. He was
Yeah.
with them for 5 years.
yeah,
It was his first day in the truck.
right.
So first
So
of
the
all,
truck was new, not the
yeah, they were
employee.
sensationalizing the headline.
Yeah,
Basically, that
typical
way.
media.
Yeah,
outlet,
typical
though.
media outlet. But so anyway, going back to it, they were holding the driver hostage.
Right,
They had barricaded one of the open door side with a bunch of packages.
right.
Anyway, go ahead, because
So the cops tee off on this thing, and the driver ends up getting shot, and then an elderly man in his 70s in another vehicle who had nothing to do with this whatsoever.
it was like what, 90 rounds through the.
There was a lot of
Yeah.
bullets. There was a lot of
Because there was somebody posted on one of the other pages of the flatbed UPS truck hauling the truck in,
yeah.
and they drove by and they were videotaping the truck from the side.
It looked like Bonnie and Clyde, man.
It was just bullet riddled. You
yeah.
know?
No, it literally looked like Bonnie and Clyde's car. It was bad.
And so what people are in the outrage over is the fact that a 70-year-old civilian got killed
yeah.
in his car, and the way the police chief was handling the press
To me, that's
conference-
the whole shame of it all.
Yeah.
One, obviously, there needs to be some serious training done in Miami PD.
Yeah.
That you just don't. I'm sorry, you just don't do that. That's not the correct. In my opinion, that's not the correct tactical approach. Is to riddle a truck full of bullets in traffic. I mean, that's not a good.
Yeah, if you,
Yeah.
That's not a
I
good
don't-
strategy.
I don't know if they, if you could realistically clear the area, because it was a traffic jam.
Yeah, he was stuck in an intersection. From what I
So
understand.
as long as you hold him in place,
yeah,
that's the first thing that occurs to me is if you can create a
you want to
perimeter.
start getting people out of cars, getting them out of harm's way.
Right.
That's what your primary job should be at that point.
So
This thing's stationary now. If you've got parked cars, it's not going anywhere.
So I'm curious as to how quickly it escalated. Who fired the first shot?
the bad guys.
The bad guys did fire the
They
first
opened
shot.
fire in the intersection, and then the police just kind of fanned around it, and because you had police jamming the intersection,
Right.
Okay, getting this busy intersection,
Yeah.
and so you had a lot of them out of their vehicles taking shots at returning fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard scenario. I will give it to you. That's a hard scenario to be in. They're shooting at you, but again, your primary objective is to get people out of there.
And
that's what you should be focusing on.
whatever the
I think.
whatever
I agree with you.
whatever department's protocol is
Right.
for
Yeah.
that scenario. I mean,
Well,
because
that's what I'm saying. It starts at the top. I
Yeah.
don't fault the cops as much as I do the police chief and his statement afterward. Really,
the statement afterward.
that's
was
what and that's
really
what makes me
troubling.
concerned. You don't want to fault the guys on the ground as much as you can see where the leadership comes from. What did you had his exact quote?
Because for me, I mean, essentially, when you boil it down, you could clearly tell that the guy didn't want anybody to die.
Yeah,
But his deal was, situations like that, people are going to die.
Get
and I'm
shot.
like,
yeah.
I tell you what, this is not.
That's not how you just added dollars to the lawsuit, dummy.
When you put it on like network news, number one is it shows up locally, and if it gets picked up nationally,
that's
now it's going to go everywhere. Now that kind of puts, every department that handles situations like that, every SWAT team, or any, I don't know if law enforcement uses the rapid response team. I know they have probably their own rapid response.
So a lot of officers are trained. It depends on the area in the precinct. Right. A lot of them are what they call multi-jurisdictional response teams.
So my cousin actually is the best person to ask for this because he has a role in the department he's in.
But each area does their own thing different. Each state has their own, especially if it's directed from the sheriff's department or the local police department. Yeah.
So, but he would be better positioned.
And I will say this: we are armchair quarterback in this from not being there. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt. But you've
got to look at it and say there's got to be a public accounting to how we do this in the future. I'm not saying anybody should be punished; they should lose their job. But I think they should look at this and say, all right, we need to learn from this.
When I listen to just a 10-second, my 10-second takeaway from what you just said is, hey, fucking people are going to die.
That's not to me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to get to.
Walk away from their TV going, "Fuck, people are going to die."
Yeah, that's my point, and that's what I wanted to get to. With the point of this is, it's obviously starting at the top. Somebody there needs to say, "Wait a minute." They should say, "Look, we handled this as best we could. We're going to learn from this, and in the future, in these events, we're going to respond differently."
God damn it! We should have hired a spokesperson.
Well,
should have hired me. I'd have come and done it for you. I mean, look at there. I did 10 times better than just coming up on the fly.
So the officer of public relations is generally the one that'll coach you before you go to that. Yeah, the POA. Yeah,
he was drunk. He was the one. He was too busy coming up with a proposal.
What he should have done. What he should have done was said, "Look, this is currently under investigation.
Yeah.
We're reviewing all aspects of this. It's unfortunate that there was a loss of life.
Yeah.
And just let it go.
Yeah.
And then come back with an after-action review and say, look, these are some of the things we noticed. This is what we're going to do to correct it. But the problem is that you got guys in a high-speed pursuit, multiple vehicles.
Yeah.
With guys that are shooting at them.
Oh, yeah. The whole time. They're running. I mean, they're damn near running people down and running into other cars.
Right.
They got a heavy vehicle that they're running folks down with. I get that.
And when you have one, it was only one guy in the UPS truck, or was it two?
Yeah, it was one.
Just one guy in the truck that was trying to rob the jewelry store, then hijack the truck, right?
I'll take that back. There was multiple robbers inside the truck. There was only one UPS driver. I'm sorry. I thought you were getting that. Yeah, no, there was multiple people in the truck.
So they were being engaged from multiple directions.
Right.
So you have this dynamic going on with adrenaline, pop, gunfire.
Yeah.
You've got a television camera flying overhead in the form of a helicopter.
Yeah. And probably somebody on the radio going, "Do not return fire."
Yeah.
Or hey, you
make
return fire when I tell you.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have this whole thing happening at one time. I mean, it'd be kind of hairy. I mean, when you think about the way the shooters have been acting lately, these are criminals that
very brazen.
That are very brazen. Fuck it, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I'm caught. I'm not going back, or whatever
your reasoning is.
Now, if you're in Harris County, you hope you get captured because they treat you well here.
Yeah.
They let you go and all this other bullshit they do down here. But over there, I don't know what they do in Florida with them.
No idea.
But
I guess, again, I think it kind of depends on what county you're in Florida. So.
Yeah. So hopefully we get better at.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I don't fault the cops because they find themselves in that situation. You just react. But there has to be. You have to go back to some sort of training that says, okay, this is where it went wrong. This is where we should have either stopped or done this type of pursuit.
Sure.
Some other scenario other than force this engagement to happen.
I got to think the FBI will have something to say about all that
Probably
too.
So.
Because they're looking at that.
Yeah, it's going to be investigated from all.
It has to be. So let's flip it a little bit and let's talk about a group of people that are trained how to use weapons.
Yeah.
That are not allowed to carry, but that have become victims of shooters lately. We had Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
We had that happen in Pearl Harbor. We had an incident happen
Pensacola, Florida. Back to Florida with that.
So you have now the Florida one is a little different. Now we're going to be careful with this one because there's still a lot to be learned with it. I understand that. But when you start reading headlines saying that it went from 3 guys arrested to 6 guys
to 10
to now 10.
Yeah.
arrested, and then you start finding out that their social media is basically they had a dinner where they were watching videos of mass shootings before the shooting, and they actually had guys on the ground recording it. Coming from the Middle East, that's what they used to do when they would target soldiers. Is they would video that and then use it as propaganda and recruitment information on their Al Jazeera, or not Al Jazeera, but whatever it is they use over there.
There's so many freaking avenues that they can take that propaganda.
So you have actually what is now being viewed as a organized, concerted effort.
It's not some random guy like Naval that just popped off in Fort Hood or something like that. This has got organization
because of where it happened, and it happened on U.S. soil. You've got every intelligence agency's attention, and NCIS, because it happened on a naval controlled facility. So part of me thinks, man, if you were ever looking for some kind of attention, if you didn't count on tuning up a bunch of getting at the attention of a lot of agencies, you didn't do your due diligence. So now when I look at this, I'm like, okay, if this is going to be the new tactic, what's coming next? Because like with this deal in Florida, the first thing that, like I was talking to one of the guys I was in Afghanistan with, is like, hey, this was just a fucking green on blue, only it didn't happen on one of the ranges in Afghanistan.
It happened here.
It happened fucking here. And they utilized a student exchange program, which most army bases that you go to that have like sensitive activities that go on, there's an agreement that you have with coalition nations, or somebody you have like a relationship with, to teach their leaders new policies, and usually it's influence that we use to influence their policy.
That, and I'm sure that they're buying weapon systems from us. We know that the Saudis are, so they're going to have to train.
So the guy was a Saudi Air Force trainee. Okay, so this exchange has been going on for a long time.
As long as they've been buying F-16s, I'm sure, which has been a long time.
We've done this with Germany. We've done this with Japan. We've done this with South Korea. We've done this with countries all around the world that we bring them over there or bring them over here for training. And these people are basically controlled for the most part. They're not just free runners. And so you have this whole thing going on with this trainee, so you got to know that screening is going to start changing massively.
The vetting process is, it's going to be one of the first things that's looked at. But one of the guys that I follow on Twitter, who was he came from special operations, and he brought up a really good point the other day. So it brought up, basically it highlighted our relationship with Saudi Arabia. So when you start talking about, a lot of times the relationships we have with some of these coalition countries, or with just some countries in general, is, hey, we share a common interest or a goal. And the first thing he brought up was, hey, when you have most recently started allowing women to drive, tell me again, what common interest or goal do you share?
Money.
So that calls him.
Sorry, that's what it is.
Because it may be a pretty phrase that you throw out there, but when you start deep diving that statement, you have to go and find out, hey, what common threads do we share with these countries?
And I get why they do it here. It's probably cheaper for them to do. Here's what probably something they need to think about. What they ought to do is just do this as a contract service. Let it privatize and say, look, we're going to have contractors in your country. They're going to train you there. You're not coming here anymore. So
what's happening is they're saying now, the FBI is saying that he filed a grievance against an instructor. The shooter did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what he was saying is that he filed a complaint earlier in the year against the instructor.
Does it highlight what?
Yeah, they called him Porn Stash. So they had a nickname. So everybody has a nickname.
Oh my God! You went to a military base and they came up with a fucking nickname.
Exactly. So
everybody's got a
nickname. they gave him a nickname because everybody has a nickname.
But if you think about it from a cultural standpoint,
that's trashing him.
Oh that's major dogging.
Why do they call him the Sand Spider? Probably because it sounds scary.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of sad, but But you have to remember, too, that military culture, if you can't take the scuffing, you probably don't belong in that unit or in that training program.
From
the 10 fellow aviators, that's what embarrassed them.
From their standpoint, if you're training somebody to infiltrate an area that you want to exploit, I would actually say, from a lessons learned, you need to, if you're going to send somebody here to exploit an area, you better toughen
thicker skin.
It.
Yeah. You failed, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see that.
So, because I don't know what the great if they kicked off an event that was supposed to not happen for
it should have been here longer and got bigger.
We're supposed to be
result.
just gathering information, and suddenly you fucking tee off because somebody called you porn stash.
Yeah.
Whatever that operation was, because now, in my opinion, because 10 other people have been identified as being associated with me, now I'm thinking we got cells. Okay, here's a cell. How many other
you
cells
basically
do we
just
have?
exposed. You basically just got exposed when you didn't want to get exposed.
So he was the weakest link in that group, because when you think about it, so if you look at his picture, he does have a porn star mustache, right? So when you see that, it's kind of I think you got to just learn to embrace that, because
I would have just been like, "That's what your wife says."
Rookie hazing, exactly. Rookie hazing is a part
right back.
Yeah, you can't just let yourself lose it over that.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, so what it sounds like here is the guy that wrote this article is trying to size it up as a bunch of white guys are making fun of a Saudi guy.
Who's the author?
The New York Times, and
but it doesn't give the author's name.
Yeah, so okay, I'll find that and tell you.
But I mean, it's the New York Times. Insert any liberal douchebag at this point,
because
and that's the author.
If they have an in-house policy that says, "Hey,"
the guy by the name of Nicholas Bogle Burrows.
Oh, he sounds reputable.
Yeah, so let me do a little reading on him.
But I always, that was one of the things they taught us in school.
Okay.
Is I always find out what the motivations behind somebody who's authoring something, because at some point we go away from telling me the facts to you telling me what your fucking opinion.
Well, that's where we are, because
that's exactly where we are.
So now we've moved away from telling me the news to now you're telling me what your
it's an agenda. It's the agenda of America's bad.
But you want to move it away, because you don't want to scare the herd that there are actually cells operating within an area.
This is a reason why the guy did what he did. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to get away from what you're talking about to where there's actual cells in operation.
If you kind of, in a way, they're trying to do kind of a hearts and minds thing as well. Is, hey, you know what? Y'all are just mean fucking white people.
Yes,
and that's kind of a stupid way to say it, but
that's how they want you to hear it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. They want you to kind of internalize and fuck. You know what? We are kind of pricks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, that's what keeps me fucking alive.
Exactly.
Right. Oh no doubt. I mean, going back to the whole military culture thing, to me that is a mild moniker.
Dude, I would wear that with pride. I'm like, you kidding? I'd grow that thing out. It would be waxed and combed every morning. I'd be like, let's do this thing.
Yeah,
but then again, look at the culture that I come from.
From a hazing standpoint, I've seen much worse shit. It could have been
way brutal.
Worse.
Dude, it would have been brutal.
Yeah, so I can only relate to back in the days when I used to work for a large oil and gas company, and they brought over about 50 Saudi trainees to run an operation over there, and some of them were actually pretty cool, but then you had a handful of the elitist types that you couldn't touch them, you didn't want to sit next to them. I mean, they were very like hands off, don't look at me, and they would get easily offended.
Yeah.
So it's like anywhere else. We have the same problem with our people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what your race, your creed, your culture is. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
It's going to come out.
And if you're a sensitive asshole, you're just going to draw fire from everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just going to draw fire.
People are going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
lighten up, actually, Francis.
Which is like case in point with just this like Todd. Okay, my deal with the whole the Yoda and the Groot thing is when you find just an end, you just kind of you
burrow in.
Yeah, you just kind of nail it. Yeah. But they obviously found this guy's hot button.
They started twisting titties.
Yeah. So this was in April. This was in April.
Yeah.
Of last year. And it's hard for me to say that the run-up of anger just built... See how the author of the story is trying to do it? Like it's just...
Like it just happened. He wants it to seem explosive. They called him porn stash. You went to the car, got a gun, started
The
shooting.
military ignored and denied. He said They even said in an article that 2 Americans were so upset with it, they helped him write the complaints.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, guys, I mean, here we go again.
Who, the Anti-Defamation League?
Well, we're burying, we're burying the real story here. Is what's happening. And so they're taking it and they're turning it into a volatile, sympathetic. Always sympathize with the terrorist killers.
Yeah.
And no, the guy killed people. The guy came over here and killed people.
You killed me for words. You killed people for words. That's what you did.
In that case, but I really think it's the ideology. I think that's the whole thing. That's
definitely what it boils down to. But you can try to shape your narrative all you want. Sure. You still killed people over words, allegedly. Well, you look at even I take your story at face value. Is what I'm saying.
You look at Hassan Nadal.
Yeah.
Okay. His whole thing, when you had troops getting ready to deploy. Yeah. Within weeks of being in that center, getting ready to go out.
Yeah, because they were doing their. Because I know the thing that they were.
Yeah, they were getting ready to do their turnaround, and so you got this going on. The guy's going to feel motivated to protect the motherland.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my best opportunity, and that's what. I mean,
that's probably what happened here.
That's what I'm thinking.
In my mind, that's where this guy's at. He's the least screw that they couldn't control.
We just sent 3,500 people to Afghanistan. We just put them on planes and we're sending them out right now.
Yeah.
So you've got this movement in Florida, in Fort Hood, and all these other different places. And when you look at Pearl Harbor, I mean, I look at this a little deeper. Because the guy was Hispanic, right? At the Pearl Harbor.
They didn't give his first. I only briefly skimmed the article last night, and all I saw was it was like some initial and Hispanic last name. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to find because I was looking to see if there was going to be sort of a.
That story's falling way off the radar because of this one.
Yeah, because I didn't even know about the Pearl Harbor one because when I saw it I was like, wait a minute.
And Pearl Harbor happened first. Yeah. It happened first, and then this one was right.
Yeah.
Was it the same day or the day after? It was one right on top of the other.
2 days.
So
2 days.
But I was thinking that it was a coordinated. I wanted to find out if it was a coordinated attack.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if it's these 2 particular naval bases. What other naval?
What's the correlation?
Are going to pop up.
Yeah.
So the guy that did it was Gabriel Antonio Romero. He was a machinist mate auxiliary fireman.
Okay.
And so he like I said, he killed. He self-inflicted gun wound to himself.
Because he only killed 2 people.
Yeah, I think it was 2. Yeah, it was
himself and some.
The third one's in the hospital recovering now. So I'm on Navy Times right now, kind of reading it.
Obviously they haven't given a cause or what.
Yeah, they haven't announced the motivation on why he did what he did. They were when I watched the original report on that, they were slow rolling it, saying we're not going to give any detail. This was naval spokesperson that was standing out there. Like, we're not going to give any.
So there was an initial story released earlier that he was seeking out counseling for being targeted by an informal hearing tied to non-judicial punishment proceedings before he was proved loaded firearms for guard duty.
So it's just fucking NJP.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, so that's what happened. But they're trying to deny that. They can't completely substantiate that.
Nobody gives a shit about. I mean, okay, granted, nobody wants to get a fucking NJP in their fucking folder.
Yeah,
but nobody tees off over.
Yeah. This dude obviously had other mental issues going on.
Because really, that just amounts to extra fucking duty and shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to draw any similarity, but there have been, and here's the problem with people that introduce theories, is that we all embrace the theory we want to believe the most practical. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you're gonna follow your own rabbit hole.
Yeah, you're gonna follow exactly. You're gonna follow, or you're gonna bore your own.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then publish it on the internet, and everybody's gonna decide whether you're right or wrong.
Well, yeah, because I have a term for that, but I'm not gonna say
kooky.
It here.
What is it?
No, well, okay. This is the whole thing where because I actually got it from my old professor. There is like, don't go around sucking your own dick.
There you go. There you go.
If you subscribe to your own beliefs,
that's what that is,
and think that's why I harp on.
I know a guy on the internet like that.
Because here, my deal is
Facebook.
Because I would tell him, I was like, at no point do I ever put myself on the same level as the guys at Quantico, the guys down at Little Creek.
Yeah.
Because those guys are looking at stuff that I don't have visibility of.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff that I saw, but I didn't.
You've taught me that. I will say that was one thing I've learned from you.
I never did any cool guy shit. I got to take part in a lot of neat things that would have helped my career.
Yeah.
But it improved me in that field. But I never ever said, well, "Oh, you know what? You and I are equal." No, I'm not looking at the same shit you are.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the matrices that allow.
I was
you
to say the 3D chess game. Yeah, the 3D mental chess game is played between motivation and opportunities.
Yeah,
because
triggers
I've drawn matrices before, and then I've seen matrices where I'm like, "Oh my god, this matrix here is." Like the one I'll draw will be a microcosm of this much larger one that came out of the fucking FBI.
Oh no doubt.
Or the CIA. It's all these associations.
Well, we all have especially the three of us, we have a pretty good way of rationalizing through things, because I firmly believe that we are a trust but verify kind of guy. A bunch of guys. I mean, we will listen, but we will definitely verify. And so when you see stories like this, you kind of got to go with surrounding issues, right?
Yep.
I think it's coincidental. I don't think this is a
I don't think the two are tied together. I mean, just on the surface.
Yeah, but I do think people are watching this.
Yeah.
I do think that operatives are watching this, and they look at this as a soft target probing.
Yes, because it's hard to miss that. Hey, both of these incidents happened at naval.
Somebody somewhere will glean intel from this that we don't want to have that intel. That's what I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere is putting it together.
But I also firmly believe in my heart that we got guys that are always one step ahead of them.
I like to believe that as well.
I think we do. I think we have that because when you look at the advances, because the big argument right now, everybody immediately wants to go to the extreme. Well, we need to arm everybody on base. Well, there's a reason why not everybody's armed on base.
Right. You end up with incidents. You probably end up with more incidents.
You know how much domestic violence happens on base housing?
Yeah.
It's huge. It's really huge because that's a very stressful, tenuous relationship for a lot of people.
I mean, not to go off in this direction, but the whole popular thing about red flag laws and stuff. Fuck. The last thing you want is somebody, because everything is like subject to interpretation. So if you see something that's threatening, and I may see it as it's not
whatever.
Well, the cops, a law enforcement agency is gonna err on the side of caution and go to the one who said, I saw that as a threat. Therefore, and you follow whatever process you do to chase down what's going on. And
you got to wonder what the local sheriffs, because the sheriffs have jurisdiction, big broad jurisdiction areas. You want to there's a conflict sometimes between military police and local sheriffs. And that's a big issue right there that you have to dance with as well. But I got to think there's QRF components in place that would definitely initiate
on base.
Yes. There's got to be a component that backs that up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All said and done, our thoughts and prayers go to the family. We hope this stuff gets fixed.
Of everybody. Yeah. I mean, of the guy, the UPS driver, all those folks.
Yeah, because you hate to see this roll up, because you clearly will see the path that the opposition of your personal rights are going to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, whether you have an armed or unarmed populace, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because these are things that...
Well, you see it everywhere where there is... where the people are unarmed.
Because I can tell you, Florida was not a spontaneous emotional reaction.
Yeah.
You had a guy sitting outside filming.
Yeah, it was planned.
You had... When you arrest 10 people in conjunction of an activity...
That's a conspiracy.
That's something that happens. The Pearl Harbor, completely different story.
Yeah.
That guy killed himself.
Yeah.
Okay? He didn't have a story to tell in the sense of he's recording.
I really think that's an act of, I just need to pop off.
Dude just snapped.
Yeah.
So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get better at catching this stuff before it happens.
Yeah.
You guys got anything you want to add before we...
I think we wrapped it up.
Yeah.
We
okay,
did.
cool. Well, it's always good spending time with you guys.
Had fun.
I love these things.
Cool.